My name is Emma. I am 16 years old, and this is the story that changed my life forever. When I was 10, my father died in a car accident. It was the saddest day of my life. My mother cried every night. Our house felt empty without him. I missed his smile, his jokes, and the way he always made me feel safe. For 2 years, it was just my mother and me. We struggled financially, but we stayed together. Then one day, my mother met a man named David. David was kind and polite. He often brought flowers for my mother and small gifts for me. Everyone thought he was wonderful. A year later, they got married. I tried to be happy for my mother, but something felt strange. David was friendly, yet distant. He never talked much about his past. Whenever I asked questions about his childhood or family, he quickly changed the subject. Maybe some memories are painful, my mother would say. I accepted her explanation, but deep inside, I remained curious. Little did I know that David was hiding a secret that would shock us all. Strange discoveries. After the wedding, David moved into our house. At first, everything seemed normal. He worked as an accountant and left home every morning at 8 o'clock. He always returned before dinner. But over time, I noticed unusual things. Every Sunday evening, David disappeared for several hours. He never explained where he went. One day, I asked him, "David, where do you go every Sunday?" He smiled nervously. "Just taking care of some personal matters." "What kind of matters?" "Nothing important." His answer only made me more curious. A few weeks later, I accidentally saw him placing money into an old metal box hidden in the garage. The box was full of cash. Thousands of dollars. Why would someone keep so much money hidden? I wanted to ask him, but something stopped me. The mystery was growing. One evening, I discovered another strange thing. There was a small room in the basement that was always locked. David was the only person who had the key. Whenever anyone asked about the room, he simply said it contained old belongings. One rainy afternoon, I heard noises coming from inside. It sounded like someone was talking. I stood outside the door and listened carefully. David was speaking softly. "I promise I won't forget you." A few seconds later, I heard him crying. I had never seen David cry before. The moment confused me. Who was he talking to? Why was he crying inside a locked room? The questions kept piling up. One Sunday evening, I made a decision. I would follow him. As David drove away, I secretly rode my bicycle behind his car. After nearly 30 minutes, he stopped near a small building on the edge of town. To my surprise, it was an orphanage. I watched from a distance. David entered carrying several bags. Children immediately ran toward him. They hugged him tightly. Their faces lit up with happiness. The scene shocked me. For nearly 3 hours, David played games with the children, helped them with homework, and shared a meal with them. Everyone seemed to know him. When he finally left, several children cried. One little boy shouted, "See you next week, Dad." Dad? Why would a child call him Dad? I returned home more confused than ever. A few days later, I found an old photograph hidden inside one of David's books. The picture showed a younger David standing beside a woman and a little girl. They looked like a happy family. Written on the back was, "Forever together. Love, Sarah and Lily." I had never heard those names before. That evening, I showed the photograph to my mother. She looked surprised. "I've never seen this. Do you know who they are?" She slowly shook her head. That night, neither of us could sleep. David's secret seemed bigger than we had imagined. The next day, my mother finally confronted him. "David, who are Sarah and Lily?" The color disappeared from his face. For a moment, he looked terrified. Then he sat down quietly. Tears filled his eyes. "I think it's time you both know the truth." The room became silent. David took a deep breath. "Before I met your mother, I had a wife named Sarah and a daughter named Lily." I stared at him. "You had a family?" He nodded. "Yes." "What happened to them?" David's voice broke. 10 years ago, they died in a house fire. The pain in his eyes was impossible to ignore. I tried to save them, but I couldn't. Tears rolled down his cheeks. I blamed myself every day. David finally unlocked the basement room. My mother and I entered slowly. The room was filled with photographs. Pictures of Sarah. Pictures of Lily. Birthday cards. Toys. School drawings. Family videos. It was like a small museum dedicated to the people he loved. "I couldn't let them go," David whispered. "Every week, I come here to remember them." For years, he had carried his grief alone. Suddenly, many things began to make sense. The locked room. The tears, the loneliness, the silence whenever someone mentioned family. But there was still one mystery left. "What about the orphanage?" I asked. David smiled sadly. "After losing Lily, I wanted to help children who had nobody." For years, he had secretly donated money. He paid for food, clothes, books, and medical care. The money hidden in the garage wasn't for himself. It was for the children. "I never wanted recognition," he explained. "I just wanted to make a difference." The little boy who called him Dad had lost both parents. Many children saw David as a father figure. For the first time, I understood who he truly was. Over the following months, everything changed. I began spending time with David at the orphanage. The children loved him. They laughed around him, trusted him, needed him. One day, I asked one of the girls why she liked David so much. She smiled. "Because he never forgets us." That simple answer touched my heart. For years, I had judged him without understanding his pain. I thought he was hiding something terrible. Instead, he was hiding a broken heart. And a great kindness. A few months before my 17th birthday, David surprised me. He handed me a small envelope. Inside was a letter. "My dear Emma, if you are reading this, it means I finally found the courage to tell you something. I never tried to replace your father. No one could. But from the day I met you, I cared about you as if you were my own daughter. I know I wasn't perfect. I know I kept too many secrets. But every school event, every birthday, every achievement made me proud. You helped heal a heart that I thought would remain broken forever. Thank you for giving me another chance to be a father. Love, David." By the time I finished reading, tears filled my eyes. For years, I had searched for David's secret. I expected something dark and shocking. Instead, the secret was love. A love hidden behind pain. A love hidden behind fear. A A love hidden behind silence. Today, I am 23 years old. David is still part of our family. The basement room remains, but now the door stays open. The memories are no longer a burden. They are a reminder of love. Sometimes the people who seem mysterious are simply carrying wounds we cannot see. And sometimes the greatest secrets are not crimes or lies. Sometimes the greatest secret is a heart that never stopped loving.